It seems to be BBL stinky, as Cardi B BBL is supposedly attractive, at least according to what Stefon Diggs recently shared. On top of that, it looks like he may have been doing some damage control for her, especially after Cardi B's Coachella performance went viral for all the wrong reasons. Speculation blew up online that her BBL was a total disaster. Not long after, Stefon was seen back with his ex, and the two were apparently dating again. Cardi's BBL has been a hot topic for a while now. For years, people have been saying there's something just off about it. While this might come across as stink shaming, not to be confused with body shaming, the situation seems to be spiraling, especially if Stefon is distancing himself because of it. And since the drama's getting pretty messy, Cardi has been clapping back at fans upset about Stefon allegedly leaving her, and of course, she's doing it in true Cardi fashion. Even though it's already chaotic, things seem to be heating up even more. So let's get into it.
Okay, everybody. For quite some time now, Cardi B's body has sparked ongoing speculation across social media. And to be fair, if it hasn't been immediately obvious, that's probably because she's been very open about the cosmetic procedures she's undergone. Still, a lot of people regularly praise her shape, which, to be honest, still gets attention. But now there are increasing complaints that her body work has started to go wrong. The thing with surgery is that it can be super addictive, and it's not always clear when to hit pause. When that now infamous photo of her started trending during Coachella weekend, and not for the best reasons, things got real awkward. She tried to defend it, saying the pic had been photoshopped or edited. But let's be real, everyone knows Getty doesn't touch their images. What you see is what you get. Cardi was quick to respond by uploading her own photo. And to be honest, it looked decent. But once fans accused her of editing that photo too, the conversation shifted. People began saying she looks really bad in person and uses Photoshop to hide it. And as usual, Cardi clapped back at those fans with her signature flair. People have been throwing shade at her BBL, calling her ugly and broke. Like the mess wasn't already chaotic enough. Now rumors are flying that her man, Stefon Diggs, dipped out because her BBL supposedly smelled terrible. Some sources are even saying the engagement ended in disaster, all because Stefon couldn't take the stink anymore. He allegedly ran straight back to his ex, who, from the looks of it, was thrilled to have him back. Not only did he leave her, but she also went and posted some pictures of her and Stefon looking all cozy. And it really looked like they picked up their relationship right where they left it. From what she shared, it seems they've been in regular contact this whole time, especially since she also posted messages Stefon had sent her while all of this was still going on. And after weeks of silence, that's not exactly the type of conversation you'd expect to hear.
This has fans wondering if she was his backup plan the whole time he was with Cardi. She said, "I hate when a ninja acts like he wasn't just crashing out and stalking me. But I may let them enjoy social media and play my part so he can get his clout." Then she added, "I don't post him. I be with him in real life. And we be doing it raw." Now people out here in the streets are saying that Cardi B's hate for her own BBL is what led to her getting dropped. And it's just turning into a full-blown mess. Listen, I'm not saying I know for sure, because I don't have any concrete proof. But if that's true, that's just wild. Then again, it wouldn't be totally shocking, since one thing we do know is that Cardi's had a long history with plastic surgery. That sore ear might just be catching some heat in Hollywood right now. But let's be real, plastic surgery has become almost a norm. They might not admit it openly, but plenty of celebrities have gone under the knife. Most of them deny it, swearing it's just some new contouring magic, a stricter diet, or they suddenly go vegan like that somehow transforms your entire face and body overnight.
I'm not here to start name dropping, but let's be real for a second. Green juice and downward dog alone don't deliver the kind of glow up some of these people are pulling off. Now, Cardi's a different case altogether. She's actually been pretty upfront about all the work she's had done. Unlike a lot of celebrities who act like they just magically woke up with new curves and a perfect nose, she doesn't hide it. She's been very vocal about getting procedures and enhancing her body, even warning others to think long and hard before going through with it. On top of that, she's always tried to stay real, and that's something a lot of people respect about her. Cardi really does aim to be as honest as she can. Lately, there's been a lot of chatter online about whether Cardi might be taking things a bit too far. Fans are starting to point out that she's tweaking her look again, and not exactly in the best way. Concerns are starting to build that maybe all this tweaking and touching up is beginning to take a toll. Cardi might not speak on it as often these days, but if you've been following her from the jump, you already know her background and environment had a big influence. They played a major role in why she even turned to plastic surgery in the first place. Where she came from, girls who had big booties, full chests, and those Coke bottle shapes were praised. That was the ultimate standard of beauty. Everybody was obsessed with that look, and Cardi simply didn't fit the mold. She once said that she used to be really thin as a kid, which, in her community, wasn't exactly considered attractive. In fact, she was one of the only girls around her growing up who didn't have that thick figure, and that left a mark. Rather than brushing it off, being teased and bullied over the years slowly chipped away at her confidence. It led her to feel like there was something wrong with her, that she wasn't beautiful. Then came the point where she started stripping, and things began to shift. But not in the way most people think. Getting into the club scene didn't instantly make her feel powerful or confident.
When she first started dancing, she still didn't have the kind of body most club regulars were into. She was still slim, and in that world, curves were currency. Once again, she realized she wasn't fitting into the ideal and kept being overlooked, which only deepened the damage to her already fragile self-worth. After years of being made to feel like she wasn't enough, Cardi finally managed to save up enough for her first surgery, a breast augmentation. She went through with it at just 18, and for a while, it gave her a real boost. She finally started to feel more secure in herself and closer to the image she wanted to see reflected back in the mirror. But as anyone who knows about cosmetic work will tell you, it's rarely a one-and-done situation. A lot of surgeries need regular touch-ups, upkeep, and further tweaks down the line. And because Cardi already had deep-rooted insecurities about her appearance, the process can become very emotionally and physically addictive.
That first procedure was only the beginning, and once she experienced what it felt like to fix something she didn't like, it became easier for her to keep going. Things did improve somewhat for Cardi after that first surgery, but she was still making significantly less money than the curvier dancers, all because she still had a flat backside. On top of that, Cardi was dealing with heartbreak. Her boyfriend was cheating on her, and that made everything feel even worse. It became painfully clear to her why. The other girl had a big booty. She started thinking that maybe if she had more curves, he wouldn't have felt the need to look elsewhere. But here's the catch. Cardi was living in New York and was just 20 years old at the time. She didn't have the kind of money needed to go to a legit, certified plastic surgeon. She was still very slim too, which made things more complicated, because a BBL requires your own fat. And she just didn't have enough. So eventually, instead of going the safe route, she turned to a woman named Donna Francis and paid $800 for illegal silicone injections in her thighs and butt. If that name rings a bell, it's because Donna Francis made headlines after one of her clients tragically died from one of those unlicensed procedures. After a long legal process, she was finally arrested and sentenced to prison for running an underground silicone injection operation.
Thankfully, Cardi made it through without any major complications. But just because she opened up to GQ magazine about her wild post-op experience doesn't mean she escaped unscathed. In her own words, she said, "They don't numb your butt or anything. It was the craziest pain ever. I felt like I was going to faint. I got dizzy, and it leaked for like 5 days." After going through that, Cardi took a break from surgery for a while. She had finally reached the body she always thought she wanted, or at least for that moment. She didn't feel an urgent need to go back under the knife. Naturally, though, that didn't last long. Everything shifted again in 2019. After giving birth to their daughter, Culture, Cardi decided to get another procedure to address the physical changes that came with breastfeeding for a few weeks. While they were still together, Miami suddenly tweeted, "I can't find a lover now. I'm young, rich, outside, and single." So it's looking like Stefon may have ended things with Cardi regardless. The whole BBL smell rumor could have just been a convenient excuse to dip out. But what I want to know is, how do you guys feel about this? Do you really think Cardi was just sitting there, stankin'? Drop your thoughts in the comments and go ahead and check out the next video.